Hi, everybody. I hope this finds you well. We are having cooler weather, and I'm extremely grateful for that. Life is difficult and busy enough at the moment. We really do not need the extreme heat as well. At the moment, I'm so overwhelmed by my own life that I don't know where to start with that of the royals and the ex-royals. But before I do, I just want to do a little bit of housekeeping. I'm fully aware of what is said in the media about South Africa after South Africa has gone to the International Court of Justice and accused Israel of meeting the threshold of genocide under international law. I'm also aware that, among others, Ireland is considering, or maybe has by now, joined South Africa. So those are the news headlines. I see them, I read them, and I think what I think. And that is it. I received numerous DMs, WhatsApps, and email about this, and unfortunately, I shall not be goaded into making a comment one way or another. Firstly, that is not what this channel is about. And secondly, if pushed into a corner, I'll only say that I am totally 100% against any war whatsoever, and that I do not and never will approve of the death and destruction of women, children, the elderly, and animals. I truly do not care what color or religion they are. Thirdly, living in a truly rainbow country, you also have to understand that I do business with, have neighbors, and are friendly with Christians, Muslims, Catholics, Buddhists, and no way, not in a month of Sundays, will I turn my back on any of those people or show any kind of hatred to anyone because of what is happening in another country. I treat people the way they treat me in my everyday life. So that is that. No amount of probing and prodding will make me say any more or any less than that. Okay, royals, royals, royals. What shall we say about the royals and the ex-royals today? Well, I think let's stick to the ex-royals for a bit, shall we? Compared to everything else, talking about Jack and Jill, sorry, I mean Harry and Meghan, almost feels like comedic relief compared to all the other shit in the news, doesn't it? Look, we are all laughing about Joe Kay and his quip at the Golden Globes, but truth be told, the repercussions of all this roasting and jokery is actually quite devastating and would be to anyone's career, not just Meghan and Harry's. Meghan and Harry will find it increasingly difficult to be taken seriously in the future. That is, if at all. Apparently, allegedly, Joe Kay was not the only one who had a bit to say about the Harkles. Remember that due to the strike, the 2023 Emmy Awards were cancelled, but finally it was held over 2 nights on the 7th and 8th of January. Well, Judith Light, one of my all-time favorite soapy or comedic actresses, were one of the winners at the Creative Arts Emmy Awards. And allegedly, she is no fan of Harry and Meghan and firmly and fully believes that they do not belong anywhere near or among hard-working actors and actresses and others in the industry. Allegedly, Judith feels that Meghan contributes nothing, has created no value or interest for the public, and is a habitual liar. Now, it is said that Harry and Meghan gate crashed the Emmys, but I have not seen any reputable source confirming it, only those electronic voice kind channels, and them I do not believe. We have also not seen any paparazzi photographs or anything like that. So I'm not going to say it is all true, but what is true is that less and less, fewer and fewer actors and actresses actually want to be seen with them or want to be associated with Harry and Meghan. Remember, I've said this before and I will say it again. These creatives are a strange bunch, and I know because I was one of them. They are often like family. They can fight among themselves, but will very quickly close rank when attacked from the outside. The fact that Mr. Markle had worked among them on a number of productions over many years and have himself been nominated and won Emmys for his work makes him one of them. Of course, they will close rank and keep Meghan out. They don't care that she now calls herself a duchess. It means nothing to them as actors, actresses, or Americans. It always amazes me how Meghan had herself worked in the industry and did not know that. You know, my father always said one can learn a lot from how someone treats their parents and waiters and waitresses. And you know, he was right. The same applied to Meghan. Why would anyone trust her on a set ever again after she had betrayed confidences, lied about her own and the royal family, played victim, had paparazzi on speed dial, and so forth? If I was a producer or even an actor, I would not trust her on my set with my script or anywhere near my production. She has proven herself to be very, very vindictive and not trustworthy at all. How can anyone be comfortable around her knowing that? Unfortunately, it appears Meghan is done in the entertainment industry. And although I know she thinks she can make it as a producer, director behind the scenes, she can't, because to be a successful producer, director, you need great work ethic, and Meghan does not have that. You also need experience and need to know how to work with people in order to get the best out of them. Meghan does not have any of that either. Why did Ted Sarandos give such a knowing smile? Because he has also had enough, I believe. I think he will judge Meghan's next project just like he would anyone else's, and maybe even a tad harsher. And if it lacks anything, if it is at all inferior in any way, he won't use it because of the very, very public mention and calling out. Ted Sarandos will be very careful not to show any favoritism ever again. And I think he will trash or reject anything from Meghan Markle which is not 100% up to scratch. With all the turmoil currently in the royal family with regards to Andrew and other matters, I don't think there will be much tolerance for Harry and Meghan's nonsense on the royal front either. But I'm going to predict that the more difficult things become for them on other fronts, the more pressure they, meaning the monarchy, will get to explain or produce explanations for missing birth certificates and sealed records, blah, blah, blah. So, I think that regardless of how well Harry and Meghan behave themselves this year, the dust will not settle anytime soon, and the public is not going to just forgive and forget. There is also talk that Harry and Meghan want to move closer to Hollywood and may be looking for a property in Los Angeles. Well, I do not think it will make a big, if any, difference to their status or popularity or even their likability. But I'm told that the Montecito neighbors will be very happy to see the back of them, as allegedly they are quite fed up of hearing about the Harkles. A neighbor, Barry Moore, says everyone else is either unimpressed by the traveling soap opera or just sick of hearing about them. Oh boy. Maybe it is time for them to move. I hear they're looking for a cheaper home as well. So maybe they need that extra bit of money they can maybe make on the Montecito mansion. But I hear that with the chicken coop where the play area and playhouse was, the vegetable garden in the middle of nowhere, and the back area not as well maintained as it was in the past, the only reason why they may make a slight profit on the property will be because a British prince and his controversial wife live there. To add to the early 2024 woes, it appears that a bunch of sugars are abandoning ship. A number of them have closed their X accounts. Oh, vey. I wonder what they know, which we don't know, or have their payments perhaps stopped. I don't know for sure, but if the rats start leaving the ship, not a good sign. Okay, guys, nothing spectacular from me today, but there are things certainly brewing under the surface on both sides of the pond. So at this point, I do not fear that we'll run out of something to talk about anytime soon. So, as always, my brain is working overtime and I've put out feelers on different subjects. So, I will indeed see you back here again as soon as possible. So, until then, please take good care of yourself. Bye.